Birmingham Police Detective Alfreda Fluker arrested for murder.
It's like I've been handed a script in a play. It said, here, just take this your life from now on. You got to deal with it. It's not fair.
This is the story of Kanisha Fuller, aged 43, a mother to a young teenager who was gunned down by a jealous police officer, Alfreda Fluker, age 42, in a love triangle gone wrong. Alfreda Fluker tracked her common-law husband, a fellow police officer, to a park where she found him on top of another woman in his car, Kanisha Fuller to be precise. She then opened fire into the car 15 times, striking Kanisha 3 times. This all happened due to infidelity and excessive anger. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Well, a female Birmingham police detective is behind bars tonight, accused of shooting and killing a woman overnight.
This story will be taking us to Birmingham, Alabama. Nestled at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Birmingham boasts more green space per capita than any other city its size in U.S. Birmingham is the second largest city in Alabama with just over 200,000 people. The city of Birmingham has the best of both worlds. With a rich history and a diverse culture, Birmingham, Alabama is home to a wide variety of activities such as shopping, restaurants, museums, music venues, and more. Kanisha Nicole Fuller, aged 43, was born on February 1, 1977. She grew up in Bessemer, Alabama. She went to school at the Alabama State University. According to her social media, she worked at IHOP as a manager and was married in 2011, but it's not certain if she was still married at the time of the incident. Kanisha had a teenage son who she loved a lot. They did so much together and spent a lot of time together. They can be seen all of her social media together. Her family reports that she loved her son so much. One said she would go to the end of the world for her son. This would be a love triangle case, so try to be familiar with each name and person. Kanisha, like any other lady, met a guy who she started dating. He was a detective with the Birmingham Police Department in Alabama. His name is Mario Theodore White. On the other hand, Mario, who has been with the police department for 23 years, was in a relationship with a fellow cop named Alfreda Fluker, age 42. Alfreda Fluker, who had been with the police department for 15 years prior to this incident, met Mario on the force and they became common-law husband and wife. They had a decent relationship until Mario started seeing Kanisha. Mario and Alfreda started dating in 2015. Things started getting rough sometimes in 2020 when Alfreda noticed some suspicious activities with her common-law husband. In summary, a common-law marriage is one in which the couple lives together for a period of time and holds themselves out to friends, family, and the community as being married, but without ever going through a formal ceremony or getting a marriage license. There was a day when a woman drove by their home one morning, and though Alfreda said she didn't recognize the woman, she thought it odd because she was looking hard on her. She took a picture of the woman's car tag and ran that through the law enforcement database. She then realized it was Kanisha, the same woman Mario had asked her to previously check out sometimes previously. She questioned Mario and he claimed they were just friends and nothing more. That was that about the staring incident. Not until April 10, 2020. At about 10 p.m. that Friday night, April 10, 2020, Alfreda and Mario got into an argument because he was leaving their Birmingham home late at night. She was wondering where he was going that late, making him shower and also taking a Viagra pill, then put on cologne. That really seemed strange and suspicious to her. So she asked her where he was heading to at that time of the day. He told her he was going to his cousin's house in the Bessemer area. They got into a verbal altercation which later turned into a physical altercation according to her. She claimed he pushed her on the dresser and held her back with his arm. After all that, Mario left the house and then Alfreda got into her vehicle and began to track his whereabouts on a locator app on her phone. Mario would stop at his cousin's home but only stayed for 15 minutes. She then continued to track him, which ultimately led her to Germania Park on the city's west side. Alfreda pulled into the park and saw Mario's and Kanisha's car parked side by side. She exited her vehicle and walked in between the two SUVs. Mario's windows were down, so she saw what she had been dreading all the while. She said she saw Kanisha sitting on Mario's lap with their pants down, even though Mario later claimed they were just talking. Words were exchanged between Mario and Alfreda asking each other what they were both doing there. Also, Kanisha was asking Mario who she was. Alfreda got upset and went to her truck and pulled out her service weapon and started firing recklessly. She shot 15 times into the car that housed Mario and Kanisha, striking Kanisha 3 times, once in the thigh, arm and head. Mario was able to get out the car uninjured. Alfreda then fled the scene and never called for help. She went to her mother's home where he called Mario. Mario then called 911 to say he needed the medics. Other people who heard the shots too had called 911 at that time. They told the operator they heard a man and woman arguing. When police arrived, Mario told officers that several black males did the shooting. But the 911 calls from other people would differ. More officers arrived, and Kanisha was taken to UAB hospital where she was pronounced dead. Birmingham homicide detectives also responded and launched their investigation. Some of the detectives started to notice contradiction in the stories Mario told, and the stories told by witnesses who said they heard a man and woman arguing. Mario was taken to headquarters for question, where he again told detectives that he didn't know who did the shooting. He finally told the truth 15 minutes later after he was told he would be in serious trouble if he kept lying. It was a shock to learn that one of their own had just committed a heinous crime. They decided to step aside on the case and let the State Bureau of Investigation take over the case. Alfreda was arrested the next day at her mom's house. Birmingham Police Chief Patrick Smith gave a press conference about the incident.
Something that happened very bad this morning. And as Chief of Police, I wanted to come out and let you know exactly what happened and hopefully put some of your questions and concerns and community concerns to rest. Last night at approximately 11:51 p.m., officers from the West Precinct responded to a ShotSpotter call of several rounds fired in the 3000 block of Pearson Avenue. Officers arrived on scene in Germania Park and discovered a female had been shot inside of a vehicle multiple times. The victim was transported to UAB hospital with life-threatening injuries, and this morning she's been pronounced deceased. The preliminary investigation revealed that the vehicle that this woman was in is an unmarked Birmingham police car. The victim was inside the car with an off-duty Birmingham police detective. It has been determined that the suspect and shooter was also a Birmingham police detective who was off-duty at the time. It has been established that the motive of the shooting was domestic in nature. At approximately 6:46 this morning, the suspect was taken into custody at her residence on the west side of Birmingham and transported to the Birmingham Police Headquarters for questioning. At this time, she's in our custody and she will be transported to the Jefferson County Jail, where she will be booked on multiple charges, with the most serious being murder. Considering this involves one of our officers, we've contacted the Alabama Law Enforcement Investigation Bureau, who will be conducting an extensive investigation and following up on our detectives' findings so far.
Well, a female Birmingham police detective is behind bars tonight, accused of shooting and killing a woman overnight. Russell Jones reports investigators say the two were part of a love triangle.
It's about a love triangle gone wrong.
Birmingham Police Detective Alfreda Fluker arrested for murder. According to police, Fluker shot a woman in an unmarked Birmingham police car late Friday night at the 3000 block of Pearson Avenue. Investigators say when they arrived, they located a woman suffering from several gunshot wounds. The man inside of the vehicle with the woman was an off-duty police detective. He was not injured.
It has been established that the motive of the shooting was domestic in nature.
The victim, 43-year-old Kanisha Fuller, later died at the hospital. Police say they arrested Fluker later that morning at her residence.
And unfortunately, we follow every protocol to make sure that we're doing everything the right way. And even when it leads to one of our own, we're going to make the tough call and we're going to take the right action.
Fluker has been with the Birmingham Police Department for 15 years. She also worked as a detective and with the Birmingham Crime Reduction Team.
Alfreda Jan April Fluker appears in a mugshot from the Birmingham Police Department as seen here. She had her day in court where she tried to say she aimed at the sky and not the car, meaning she didn't intend to kill her, but prosecutor countered by saying she not only shot one time or twice or thrice but 15 times, only stopping when she emptied her clip. Prosecutors said that Fluker was cold, calculated and exact when she found Fuller and Mario together in Mario's unmarked police vehicle, and she intentionally emptied her service weapon into the SUV. A judge sentenced Alfreda Fluker to life in prison without the possibility of parole following a trial that lasted a couple of weeks.
Birmingham police detective was sentenced today to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And today we're hearing from the victim's mother for the first time. Our Carly Lang joins us in the newsroom with reaction to the sentencing hearing today. Carly.
Yeah, Ben, no matter what your title is, you can't go around killing people. Those are the words of Kanisha Fuller's mother after today's hearing. Police say Fuller was shot and killed in April 2020 by former Birmingham police detective Alfreda Fluker. Fluker was sentenced today to life in prison without the possibility of parole. During an exclusive interview with CBS 42, Fuller's mother, Janice Andrews, says while she is pleased with the results of today's hearing, she says no one should have to go through this.
It's like I've been handed a script and a play. It said, here, just take this your life from now on. You got to deal with it. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Mario was never charged in the case, even though he initially tried to mislead police saying it was some young black boys responsible for the shooting. This is a tragedy that could have been handled differently and never resulted to someone dying. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Kanisha Fuller. May Kanisha's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for gun violence survivors. Please stay safe out there, friends, and see you guys in the next video.